Good morning. Ryan Seacrest with you.
Good
Sissany
morning.
and Tanya. How are we feeling on a Wednesday?
I'm feeling good.
I see light at the end
Yeah.
of the tunnel. And Sissany.
I enjoy a hump day.
Me too.
Oh,
Sissany has this story here about, this is so fascinating. Like, why do we love certain things? For me, when I smell certain foods, I'm taken away. If I smell, I think pizza or baked goods. If I smell a bakery,
oof.
I'm transported into a good space.
Right, like baked
like aromas are big for me.
Mm-hmm.
Aromas are big for me. So, and I think that's one of the reasons why we like Disneyland, isn't it?
That is one of the reasons for sure. There's like
Or
this.
scientific reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is so fascinating.
And it is really fascinating when it comes to Disney because there's people that go to Disneyland all the time and are kind of obsessed with it.
We've met many of them.
Right. And one analysis actually showed that 18% of Disney park goers will actually go into debt just to go and have their Disney vacation.
Well, I think
Because-
if you're in debt when you're there, you feel like you're not because it makes you happier, and then you go back to reality.
Yeah.
So just keep going. I see why you keep going back.
Exactly. I mean, remember that the guy from Huntington Beach? He's here locally. His name
Yeah.
was like Jeff or whatever. He visited 2090
A
whatever.
lot.
Right, like almost like every day in a row. So, but like why? So why is it that you get this obsession? And here's the scientific reason behind it. There's a few factors. One of them is called travel craving. So in other words, for people who describe their love of Disney travel this way, craving a trip to Disneyland may not only be a desire, but a yearning that kind of continues to grow inside of them, and they can't help themselves. So-
I crave it. I like to be on the move, right? Like even like on a weekend in Southern California, I like to go to other places in Southern California.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Another one is what you were talking about earlier, the smell.
Aromas. Yeah.
Yes. And so we all know Disney's great at this. It's like as soon as you enter Main Street, you start smelling the baked goods, the chocolate from the sweet
Do you know
store.
Vegas does the same thing? I noticed that I smelled beautiful things all over our
Yeah.
hotel, like in the casino area, although
But
there's
don't they
some
like
smoking.
pump them with the oxygen so that you're
I
like
don't know.
more
They-
awake or something?
I feel like they do something, but they definitely pumped aromas. What else is?
And peer influence is another one. So it's almost like FOMO. So you see
Yeah.
everybody posting on Instagram, and this is like just free marketing for Disneyland at this point. But you see everybody posting on Instagram that they're there for Halloween time, and you're just
Yeah,
like,
I get that.
I
I
want to
get
go to
that."
Disneyland for Halloween time. And so you have that feeling. It's like no matter what, you feel almost like this obligation to go for whatever season it might be. And I think Disney's most powerful strategy is how it triggers our feelings of nostalgia. So no matter what, every time we go back to Disneyland, we kind of just have that feeling of it's kind of the same. Like,
Well,
yes,
and-
they've done their modern touches to, keep it
but
going.
they don't break the format.
Exactly.
They don't
So-
break the format. And it is true, like when you're there, all the memories are great. I mean, they over deliver on great memories.
And I go
So-
back and I remember that trip when I was in second grade with my dad. Like I
too.
remember, it's like it brings back all of those memories. And that's like the beauty of
I remember the
Disneyland.
first time Nana and Hank Paul drove me to Disney
You
to ride
see?
the rides, and Space Mountain was the
Yes.
one I was so afraid of. But I was a big boy, and I rode it with Hank Paul. my
love
grandpa.
that. I remember we did the one of my treats for or I guess a reward for getting good grades was that we got to spend one night at the Disneyland Hotel.
But that's the beauty of living here.
Yes, it
Because when you
definitely
live in
was.
Atlanta, it's not next door.
No, it's not next door. But also, like when you're a kid, like you don't. I never stayed at hotels when I was a kid. So like
I
even
know,
staying
that's
at a
part of the
hotel
big-
was so
big part of it,
exciting.
right?
And you got early access, and we went in early. And Splash Mountain was the ride that I chose to go on first. And it
Nothing better as a kid than being soaked in the park all day. Nothing worse as an adult.
Yeah,
exactly
being
what
soaked all
my
day.
parents are like, "That's the one you want."
So
was
I
like,
know exactly. They're like
"Yes!"
fighting it.